After completion of this section, the student should have a good understanding of how power is produced and the mutuality between the prime movers and the alternators. A prerequisite for satisfactory parallel operation is equal speed on the prime movers, diesels. The speed of the diesel engines is controlled by their governors. There are different types of controllers on the market, but the principle is the same. The purpose of the controllers is to maintain the speed at all loads and for load sharing of active load. In the example below, the generator used is a 6-pole generator, and the nominal frequency is 60 Hz. This means that the speed of the diesel engine has to be 1,200 RPMs. If a kilowatt load, such as heating, is switched on to the alternator, then energy is drawn from the alternator and converted into heat. This energy must be provided by increasing the rate of fuel to the prime mover. This happens automatically in the following way. As for the voltage regulation, reactive load sharing, the governors are adjusted to have a speed drop from 0 to full load. As we can see in the characteristic, the RPMs will drop to 1,152 RPMs at full load if the idle speed is set to 1,200 RPMs, and the speed droop is 4%. The frequency will drop proportionally with the speed to 57.6 Hz. Let's parallel shift the droop so that the generator is at its nominal speed at 50% load. This is done by changing the speed set point. As we can see, the RPM is at 1,200 RPMs at 50% load, and the frequency will be 60 Hz. Let's see what happens when we change the speed droop to 2%. We still wish to retain the nominal frequency at 50% load. To obtain a nominal frequency at 50% load, we also have to change the speed set point. Let's keep the 4% droop setting and the governor adjusted to nominal frequency 60 Hz at 50% load. Start the generator by pressing the Start button on the DG1 control panel. As you can see, the generator has reached idle speed. Connect the generator by pressing the Connect button on the DG1 control panel. Load the generator to 50%. Each click on the Increase or Decrease button will change the load by 10%. As you can see, we have nominal frequency at 50% load. Continue to load the generator at 100%. The RPM and frequency is at 1176 and 58.8 respectively at full load. To maintain the nominal frequency, we must add more fuel to the diesel by the means of the governor. Press the up button on the governor. We want to connect generator 2 to the main bus in order to share the load. The governor has the same speed droop characteristic as number 1. Start DG2 by pressing the Start button in the DG2 control panel. Adjust the frequency of DG2 until it is slightly above the main bus frequency by pressing the Down button. The frequency for the incoming generator should be slightly above the main bus frequency to avoid the generator running as a motor and to trip on the reverse power. Connect DG2 by pressing the Connect button in the DG2 control panel. The main bus frequency will decrease if we do not decrease DG1 simultaneously. Let's adjust both the governors to the nominal frequency. At this point, it should be obvious what will happen if we tamper with the speed droop and speed setting. Let's have a look at a few examples. Changing the speed set point upwards on DG1 will result in DG1 taking more of the total load than DG2. There will be a constant load deviation between DG1 and DG2. Changing the speed droop on governor 1 to 8% will cause DG1 to take half as much load as DG2. Here, both the speed set point and speed droop is changed on DG1. With these new settings, we get balanced load sharing only at 50% load. Note that these settings have been adjusted during the generator trials and should not be tampered with if you are not fully aware of what you are doing. Note that on modern electrical power plants, there is an automatic frequency control, which will take the governors up, down, according to a preset point. The procedures in this chapter are for manual adjustment of frequency and load sharing. In the following pages, you will be asked some questions. If you want to repeat anything before answering the questions,